Hey there. As a startup founder, one of the first things that you get asked inevitably is to build a pitch deck, a slide deck, basically a PPT, if you will, of your business, which typically includes information about your business, your revenue model, your target market, your financial forecasting, and a whole bunch of other information that is meant to give a quick idea of what you're working on, and with the concept that you show it to your potential customers, potential investors, potential advisors to get them excited about your business. The structure is pretty much laid out at this point, where you begin with your company logo, then you move on to introduction, then you move on to the problem that you're trying to solve, then you move on to how big the problem is, then it's the solution, then you talk about your team, then you talk about your history or your experience, then you talk about what your solution is, and then you try to convey how unique it is. You talk about your competitors, and then you talk about your financial projections, and then you talk about how much money you're trying to raise or what's the next milestone you're getting to. That's typically what a pitch deck is, and it's been done and dusted quite a few times. The structure has been revealed quite a bit. So my issue with the pitch deck, and now I am not an expert in building pitch decks, but I have done many times. I have presented them, I have made them from scratch, and so I have some experience in them. I have also received a lot of feedback on my pitch decks as well. One of the issues that I face or that I have with pitch deck is that often people, when they read pitch decks, they usually take less than 30 seconds to pass through the whole thing. They skip through a lot of points, they try to absorb as much as possible and kind of make a judgment of your whole business based on that pitch deck, based on an attachment that you usually send via email. My problem with that is that a pitch deck is highly reliant on the reader and the reader's ability to absorb what is mentioned. There are a few best practices that people say your pitch deck should have. It should have very little text. It should be visually pleasing. It should have icons. It should have visuals. So there's a lot of schools of thought in it, but I strongly feel that a pitch deck does not convey a lot of things, especially how good the founding team is, what his or her passion is, and how good the team is. And it does not convey the potential for a startup. You can easily pay someone and build a very fancy pitch deck, and it looks amazing. It can have beautiful bullet points, it can have words that you really like, but then is it that impactful? For example, when you include things like financial projections, when you include things like you're showing how big the market is, it's at best a good guess, and at worst it's just blowing smoke up someone's eyes. I don't know why people would still insist on pitch deck in this day and age, instead of just spending that some 10-15 minutes just talking to the founder and asking and trying to understand what the founder or the founders are working on. I think that's the most effective way to know how a business would do. Just communicating, getting to know, I think is the best way. And pitch decks, I think, are outdated and should be stopped altogether. But I know for a fact that that's not the current state we are in. We still need pitch decks in any pitch competitions or events, or anyone asks you for information about your company. They expect a full pitch deck, they expect a business model, and they expect financial forecasting to justify your business. I just hope that there's a better way to convey what you're working on, what you have achieved, and what you hope to achieve. I really hope there comes a situation or time in life where entrepreneurs and tech startups and startups in general are given an opportunity to present what's on their mind and present the vision in a way that can connect to the right people. And I don't think pitch deck is the way to do so.